Well, good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where you are and when you are watching this video. This could be a little bit different video. We're not on a course, we're not at a lesson, we're not getting new clubs. This is an intermission, and the intermission is all going to be about checking in to see how we're doing on this quest. Obviously, the quest is to take an average guy like myself and see if we can become a scratch golfer. And if you've been following along, and I appreciate that. If you're new to this and this is the first video you've watched, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Start on episode 1 and see how far we've come. And then check out this video. But during these intermissions, I'm going to do this occasionally, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, where we look back and we say, okay, how far have we come? What do we still have to do? What are we thinking about during the swing? What's coming up next during these videos and all that good kind of stuff. So during this video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about where we started and how far we've come and where we're sitting now with our index and how close to the quest goal are we. And then we're going to talk about what my swing thoughts are, what I'm kind of working on now. Have I changed my outlook on how things are going? And then finally, we'll wrap up and we'll talk about what's coming up next. And I'm looking for some ideas too. So if you guys have some ideas, leave me a comment below and let me know if there's some things you'd like to see or things I'm missing that might help me improve my game and that you have learned through this long and arduous journey that we call golf. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so part 1 of this video will be where are we now and how are we tracking towards our goal. Obviously our goal is scratch golf, being a 0 handicap. And this is the club I belong to, the USGA, where I post my score. As you can see, we started this quest on the 5th of August of 2022, this year. And we've been playing pretty consistently over the course of time up until the 16th. And you can see I started before I got my new clubs and took any lessons or anything. I started with a 96 and then an 86, but that's at a course that's got like a 65. The par is 65 on it, so that's not super great. And then 88, 95, 89. And then you can see it's slowly getting better. And this is the best round I've shot so far, which is 79 at sort of my home course, which is Sierra Lakes. Broke 80 for the first time ever and actually broke par on the back 9. I shot a 34 on the back 9. So yeah, and if you're doing the math, I did shoot a 45 on the front 9, so that was painful. But yeah, and then 91 at Sand Canyon, which is a really, really tough course. And then again at this little par 61 or whatever course, shot a 77 on the 16th. So I think we're headed in the right direction. I believe when I started my quest, these first few rounds, I was like a 25, so we're down to 11, which is pretty decent, and I think that's probably pretty fair. So my understanding is as you're going through this and trying to get better, that getting from a 25 to 11 might be pretty easy, but going from an 11 to, let's say, a 3 is going to be very difficult. But we'll see how it goes, and yeah, we'll just continue to go. So I think I'm making good headway. All the stuff I've done has been pretty useful. Now, what have I done? So over the course of this time period, which I suppose we'll call August 5th to October 16th, I have gotten all new clubs. I got fitted for clubs, got all new clubs. I've taken 4 lessons so far, I believe. And I actually got a new putter last week as well. I've been playing with that. I got an arm lock putter. So I like it, but it's a little bit different, so I'm still getting used to it. But so a lot of changes over this time. So really, I'm just looking during this next period, let's say from November until early next spring, maybe April or May. to kind of settle in and figure these clubs out, and continue with all the continue with all of the good habits that my lessons are hopefully teaching me, and continue to shoot good scores. Now, my target handicap to finish in April will be something in the single digits. If I can get down to 8 or 9, I'll be pretty happy. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So that is a little wrap up on where we are now. So let's talk about some of my swing thoughts and what I'm working on right now. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what I'm working on and what my swing thoughts are, and what changes I've made over the course of time. One of the tools I use, and I'll kind of be checking in with this as we go. I feel like part of this journey will be to ferret out some of the good tools out there, but I really like this one. This is that Hank Haney. If you're into golf at all and get into the algorithms, I'm sure you've been spammed by Hank Haney and all his minions that run around and shoot you emails and videos and things about doing stuff. But one of the tools he has on his Scratch club or his performance golf is this swing analyzer. Let me see if I can go back out to the Scratch club so you can kind of see. So these are all of the tools for the Scratch club, and then you can go through all the training courses, which I've done a lot of them. This is the one that you get spammed with, the one-shot slice fix, or possibly the driver stuff. And so I've gone through a lot of these, but I don't want to go through too many because I have a live coach in Eric, who I think is wonderful. So I don't go through a lot of them, but in the Scratch club itself, you can do a swing analyzer where you can upload your swing and compare it to other folks. So this is my swing, and you can even do a side-by-side analysis with any of your favorite golfers, right? So let's do Rory McIlroy. How about that? So we'll do a swing analysis side by side with Rory McIlroy, and they have it on a really oh, that's loud. Let's see. Let's turn off his, and let's watch Rory's swing here, and you can see just beautiful takeaway. And I'm going to stop it when he gets to this point here. So you can see he's got the club pointed straight back, and let's do mine now. And this was my old swing. So this was from August 22nd. So we'll be able to see sort of my miss now, and boom, right there. So what I was doing is I was trying to get into the slot early. So I was taking my swing back this way, right? Where Rory, his angle is a little bit out. So it's a pretty big difference, right? So as he goes up, he gets into his slot. And yeah, these things have a, the pros are very, very slow. Probably several hundred frames per second, and I have this at 1 times slow motion. And let's see if we can speed it up a little bit. Yeah, and so you can see he keeps his keeps in the slot, and off he goes. Right where I'm getting real high, and I still do this. So let's take. Let's see. How do I erase? I don't know. But you can see I get real high up here, which is not ideal. Let's take him back to his, where is his, so that's not too bad, I don't think. Let's see. So from my shoulder to my hands, we're at like 30 degrees, and from his shoulder to his hands, he's at like 44. So he's a little steeper than me, but if you watch, he really drops that back down. See how he comes underneath that line and really gets in to that power curve there. And what I do is I kind of come over the top. You can see big difference in swing. So I'm coming over the top. Big difference, right? So here's his club as he's going down and underneath his line, and here's my club crossing my line, which is not good. And then making decent contact, and I would hit the ball, but I brought a lot of trouble into this swing. So I've really been working on making my the start of my swing more straight back, right? So I'm trying to get wider with it, and then dropping my hands into the slot underneath my plane. So that's kind of my swing thought. And to get that done, I kind of think about my lag, if you're familiar with that term. The lag is getting your hands in front of the ball. And so I'm thinking about my lag, which tends to keep my hands lower, but we've made a lot of progress on that. Now, it did kind of screw up my driver because I couldn't, you can't do that kind of swing on a driver. And I know there's a lot of folks out there that talk about keeping the same swing for every club, but in my experience, I haven't been able to do that. So I've had to sort of do a different type of swing for my driver. And we'll probably talk about that in upcoming videos because I've kind of discovered something about my shot shape, and I'm trying to just get consistent with it. So that's kind of my swing thought and what I'm working on, at least for my, irons. I'd say, gap wedge through 4, which is all my irons right now. I have 13 clubs in my bag right now. I am going to be putting in another club at some point, probably some kind of driving iron or hybrid. Right now I just have a driver and 3 wood, and then I go to 4 iron. So I have a pretty good gap in there. So I'll be working on that. But I think that's a pretty good understanding of what I'm working on. Oh, I have changed my idea on what I wanted to do practice-wise. So initially my idea was I'm just going to hit a ton of range balls, try to groove a swing, and I found that I was just exhausted and sore, and then when I would get a chance to play golf, I was putting tired swings in the ball, and it wasn't wonderful. So now I'm more interested in playing golf. So I'm trying to play more, hit less balls, and then even when I do get out to the range to hit balls, I'm spending most of my time chipping and putting. So I've gotten some good coaching on my chipping and putting, and so I'm using that, and I got some training aids, and so we'll see how that goes. So far, I like where it's headed, and when I make a good putt and a good chip, it works well, but when I don't, obviously it's still a struggle. And with the new putter, it's been a struggle. Well, so that is just a wrap up on what I'm thinking and some of the swing thoughts I'm having. Try to get that Rory McIlroy, take away. I don't want to be quite as steep as he does, but I definitely don't want to stop coming over the top, which I'm still doing, even though I am getting my takeaway better. So let's go ahead and get into what might be coming up next on the channel. Okay, so here is my little channel. You can see we have a handful of videos out. I did my first short, which was kind of fun because I couldn't do it before because I didn't have enough views or subscribers or all that. So we were able to get enough views, enough subscribers. I was able to do a short, and and so it's coming along well. Things that are going to be coming up on the channel, one of the things I'd love to do would be to do a collaboration with some other content creators. So if you know any content creators out there that are doing golf stuff, I'd love to get together and have some fun. I'm reaching out to the big guys. I mean, just as a Hail Mary, and see if they'd be willing to help out a newbie like myself. and wanted to help the channel and make some content with me. But they're not even responding, which I understand. I mean, I'm tiny little guy trying to make silly videos here, but I'm having fun with it, and I think my golf is improving, and hopefully I can be a decent player. So what's coming up besides that? I'm gonna join a novice tournament group, and so I'm gonna play some tournaments next year. I'm gonna continue to do 2 rounds, or at least 2 9-hole rounds a month, as sort of a check-in to see how things are coming. We're going to continue to take lessons with Eric. I probably won't video every lesson, especially if it's going to be not something new that I'm working on, but we'll check in with Eric every now and again. I might try to team up with some of the local golf talent here, and maybe have a match or two to see how playing under a little bit of pressure works. And then, yeah, we're going to just keep pumping out these videos and look for some new interesting stuff to do that will help my game. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think about how the progress of this quest is going, and we will see you next time. Oh, by the way, when this gets released, I'm going to be in Mexico on a little vacation, so I'm going to shoot a round that I'm going to play in Mexico. My wife is going to be the videographer, so we'll introduce you to her and see how we go in Mexico. I'm a little bit concerned down there because it's been raining so hard, because it's kind of that season. I'm not sure why we chose this time to go, but we did. So we're going to go ahead and check that out, which will be kind of fun. So we'll see you next time. God bless.